Wicked Good Season 4, Episode 04. Advertisers for today's episode, Tommy Chong CBD, Blue Chew, also myself. Everything's at wickedgood.xyz, wickedgood.xyz, wickedgood.xyz. Haven't been back in a little bit. We'll explain it later in the episode. But today's episode, we've got Donda 2 not being allowed on the Billboard charts technically. On top of that, Epic Games bought Bandcamp. That's pretty friggin' big. Final ruling on basically self-driving cars. So self-driving cars with no steering wheel or gas pedal or electric pedal, whatever the fuck you want to call it, they're going to be allowed now technically. We have the Artemis program. NASA finally rolled out the giant friggin' rocket. So hopefully that doesn't blow up. Entertainment side, Snoop Dogg has joined Faze Clan's investment. So Snoop Faze now. Also crypto, we have the executive order from Mr. Byron. And I'm going to read the entire thing. So we'll see how that goes. There you go. That's the intro. Song of the week, as always, put this at the beginning. Ty Dolla $ign, Meek Mill, Watching. I don't know, I've been bumping it for the last 2 weeks that I've been gone, so why not put it as the song of the week? On being gone, quick note, whatever content I did film will probably end up coming out, but I don't know. Some other people might be releasing it, so I'll talk about that later. But to start it off, Billboard, we're going to look into Kanye's Donda 2 not being on the Billboard's chart. In all honesty, I don't really care. As a musician, it wouldn't. Oh, it's cool. It's a cool accolade, but with shit like this happening, it kind of shows just how. I mean, it doesn't. You can play the game as much as you want to get a Billboard. So, basically, Donda 2 just wasn't allowed to be put on the charts because it came from and was only accessible on the stem player. So apparently that's a thing, and it ties in. I'll pull it into how a couple years, like last year, or actually it was when Astro World came out and Nicki Minaj's album came out. They had the merch bundles, which Travi Patty did, and basically you buy merch, you get a free album with the merch. So it's just every time someone buys a merch or even tickets, you're just inflating your sales numbers even more. So basically the same rule that applied with that is what got Kanye not eligible to do this. I'm going to read the direct Billboard article because it's right from Billboard, the people who literally make the list. So why not read exactly where it's coming from? Today's news sources apparently, just don't like linking to the direct sources. But here at the Wicked Good show, we read the sources directly. Might save me content time. After releasing 16 tracks from Donda 2 to his stem player last week, Kanye West is so far staying true to his promise to hold back on the album being able to be streamed on streaming services. The artist and entrepreneur who goes by of course, reported 1.3 million in stem sales via Instagram in the 24 hours after announcing Donda 2 would be released exclusively on his $200 proprietary hockey puck styled streaming device. I have a bunch of clips and I've talked about the stem device and how it works and other things, so you can go look over there, just look up stem, whatever. But the thing I want to talk about here is the sales. Obviously, it's reported he didn't show any actual statements from the website or Shopify, so we don't actually know, but that's what Ye was saying. 24 hours, he made $1.3 million just from the sales of the stem device, which also users can remix songs as they listen. While new stem purchases appear to come preloaded with 2019's Jesus is King, last year's Donda and this year's Donda 2 will be able to be streamed through the stem player on the device anytime, as long as you connect it to your computer and basically upload it through a USB cable. Ye said at the time of February 18th Instagram post that he had sold 39,500 STEM players to date, for a total net sales topping at $8.6 million. That was February 18th. So as of recording this, it is April, so that is a while ago. So 8.6 million. It's probably made. I mean, going off of his estimates, probably 10 million just off of the STEM players. This is not factual at all, but we can assume from whatever he's posted February. So while that revenue far surpasses what an artist can earn from streaming or sales in the same time period, one thing this release strategy will not be earning Ye is placement on the Billboard charts. Ooh-wee, so good. That's because the album is being sold with a device that can be used for other means besides playing of the album. Let me repeat that again. The reason that's because the album is being sold with a device that can be used for other means besides playing of the album. We'll get into that policy after this, but as such, dyslexia, the STEM/Donda package would fall within Billboard's latest merch bundle policy, where albums sold with merchandise are not chart eligible. Wait, I didn't even realize it was the entire album, where albums sold with merchandise are not chart eligible. Maybe just the single album sales from like the streaming ones would still account, but not those ones. I talk about it after this. So, since the STEM player is a fairly new concept, however, people familiar with the matter from both Billboard and MRC say they plan to continue to monitor its evaluation as it relates to chart eligibility. So, meaning they are open to the option of changing the rules. It'd be cool because if people started doing things like this, I know it wouldn't be easy to just be an artist to charge someone $200 for a physical device like that. But there's got to be there's got to be some like this physical shit. There's got to be something to it. Someone's got to do that. People got to do shit like this. I mean, yeah, it's only $200, only $200, but people sell vinyls and people sell other things like that. And if you have the ability to own it, and then now you have the physical device, and then you just plug it into your computer, and then the computer knows, oh, you own this device, and now you get extra shit. So not only if you bought the STEM player 7 months ago, you're constantly, probably for the next however many years, just going to keep getting Kanye albums. So I would see how in the future for artists it would be cool if you, I don't know, not like a USB stick, but you know what I mean. Also, people did hack it, so it is possible to get and make your computer pretend that you own the STEM player. So it is possible to get around all of that, which I don't know. It depends on how hardcore your security is going to be for whatever physical product you're selling your music through. Ye released 4 Donda 2 tracks to a STEM player February 23rd, following a listening party and live performance in Miami the night prior. The next day, he released 12 more songs, calling the 16-track collection the Miami version. When Ye released Donda on August 29th, it topped Billboard 200 album charts with 309,000 equivalent album units moved, according to MRC data, becoming 2021's top single week release at that point. Either way, I'm pretty sure the grammar didn't matter. He was later surpassed by Drake's Certified Lover Boy and Adele's 30, and ended 2021 with the calendar year's 39th biggest album according to Billboard. I don't know why I read any of that. That doesn't have they always add all this random shit in here for the people. I don't know why they add it, whatever, but they always add all this random stuff. They're like, whatever. Main thing is, if Kanye keeps Donda 2 off of streaming platforms, it won't chart on Billboard. Now, Clearly, I don't think he cares because why? I mean, it's not like you. What incentive is there to get like, oh, why you get another plaque? I think Kanye's probably got enough plaques, so I don't know if he really cares that much. I don't think I fucking would. Fuck it, whatever. Fuck what I think. But at a certain point, what is that piece of metal on the wall that cost you money? Also, I'm pretty sure you have to pay for it, and you have to apply for it too. So it's like at a certain point, yes, great, you got on the Billboard whatever charts, but does it really matter? Clearly no, because you can make $10 million off of STEM players. How long is this article? I'll read through it real quick. But this is basically what I'm referring to. I couldn't find Billboard. Some articles are under like the paid subscription shit, and some aren't. So I found one that wasn't under that, so other people can look at it. But this is altpress.com. I don't care what the other articles are, but they wrote a decent article about this, so fuck you if you're going to try to get me on that. Also, all links are always down below in a paste bin, so you can check everything, check all my sources, do all that shit. I don't care. That's the point of this show. Billboard is making some big changes. Mind you, this is July 14th, 2020, so 2 years ago this article came out, but this is talking about the merch bundle shit. So here we go. Billboard is making some big changes to its music charts. On July 13th, the company announced it's changing the rules for Billboard 200 and Hot 100 and various other music charts. Now, Billboard is no longer including ticket and merch bundles in its charts figures. This latest move will significantly impact overall album sales in the industry. Yes, because they found a loophole. Currently, it's common practice for artists to sell copies of their albums within their merchandise and ticket bundles. The inclusion of these digital and physical albums greatly helps artists sell music during the age of streaming. It also influences where their music may debut on Billboard's charts. More recently, Halsey, Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, and Harry Styles are just a few artists to use bundles to boost their album sales. Each ticket sold for Halsey's rescheduled Manic Tour comes with a copy of her latest album, as well as copies of Styles' new album with tour ticket purchases. So basically, you just buy a ticket and you get an album, or you get an MP3 link that you can download or whatever. I don't think they're giving you a physical copy. Now Billboard has announced it will no longer include bundles on its chart figures. According to the announcement, Billboard will eliminate the practice of counting album bundles with merchandise and concert ticket sales on its album and song charts altogether. Last year, the company attempted to limit the impact bundles have on music charts in order for artists' albums to count in figures. The album had to be sold individually, or merchandise had to be sold for a lower price if sold separately. Oh, as well as bundles could not only be available on their website. As well, bundles could only be available on their website. Okay, so all right, this makes sense. I talked about this old episodes. This is the cool thing about doing the show, is it's on record. But back in the day, before this happened, you were able to like do the merch bundle, but you couldn't sell, per se, you sell the t-shirt for $30 and an album comes with it. You'd have to also be able to buy the t-shirt for $28 without the album. So rather than just only offering the t-shirt with the album for one price, you now had to also sell the t-shirt standalone at a lower price than the t-shirt and album bundle, making it sort of a loophole, but then they're completely gone now. So now it's all the way, no merch bundles, none of that shit. Anything bundled with the merch does not count. Now albums must be promoted as an add-on to purchase alongside bundles, and a current practice where albums are often included in the price of bundles. So I don't know. I don't. Kanye probably doesn't really give a shit. I don't really give. I just wanted to talk about it to open up the eyes of people who kind of don't or might not understand that much about the Billboard charts and how artists kind of finesse them. Every chart's a finesse. In all honesty, it's a fucking chart. Like, what do you expect? So off of that, off of something that honestly I did not expect either, and I'm hoping this is gonna go well. But who really knows? Bandcamp is joining Epic Games. We don't have a dollar amount, so don't be listening to people saying this many millions, but whatever. There is no confirmation, so I'm going to just read the Bandcamp and Epic blog press releases. You can read them yourself also if you want to. Links below as always. Bandcamp is joining Epic Games. This is directly from Bandcamp blog. I'm excited to announce that Bandcamp is joining Epic Games, who you may know as the makers of Fortnite and Unreal Engine, which is the best part, and champions for a fair and open internet. Yeah, I don't know about the fair and open part, but we can get into my criticisms after I'm done reading all of this. Bandcamp will keep operating as a standalone marketplace and music community. It will continue to lead and I will continue to lead our team. This is from the perspective of the current Bandcamp CEO. The products and services you depend on aren't going anywhere. We'll continue to build Bandcamp around artist first revenue model where artists net an average of 82% of every sale. You still have the same control over how you offer your music. Bandcamp Fridays will continue as planned, and the daily will keep highlighting the diverse, amazing music on the site. However, behind the scenes, we're working with Epic to expand internationally and push development forward across Bandcamp for basics like our album pages, mobile apps, merch tools, payment system, and search and discovery features. I'm pausing there, and if you're listening and not looking at my face, search and discovery features, I think we all know what that means. It's going to enhance your experience by sucking all the data out of you. To newer initiatives like our vinyl pressing and live streaming services. So far, it seems like this is what most game companies that buy things say. We're going to keep everything the same, but wait about a year, 2 years, and new CEO and new people underneath them and new directives from the upper. So hopefully this doesn't go bad. They'll talk about it more and kind of the reason why they bought it, but here's just the rest of Bandcamp's statement, or the current CEO of Bandcamp statement. Since our founding in 2008, we've been motivated by the pursuit of our mission, which is to help spread the healing power of music by building a community where artists thrive through the direct support of their fans. That simple idea has worked well, with payments to artists and labels closing in on 1 billion USD. So they basically almost paid out $1 billion. Close to, I'm pretty sure they're very close to it. And while over the years we've heard from other companies who wanted us to join them, we've always felt that doing so would only be exciting if they strongly believe in our mission. We're aligned with our values. And not only wanted to see Bandcamp continue, but also wanted to provide the resources to bring a lot more benefit to the artists, labels, and fans who use the site. Epic ticks all those boxes. Yeah, I'm sure they do. We share a vision of building the most open, artist-friendly ecosystem in the world, and together we'll be able to create even more opportunities for artists to be compensated fairly for their work. Whether you joined Bandcamp recently or have been with us since the beginning in 14 years ago, thank you for being a part of this incredible community, and we look forward to serving you for many years to come. So, That's the statement directly from Bandcamp. I know I kind of sound like I'm shitting on it. It probably will end up being a good thing overall because now I'm sure that it will be easier. Like, dude, if you can get your game, presume you Bandcamp will now allow you to like get your songs in games. Like that's gonna be crazy. I talked a couple months ago, I don't remember what episode it was, about this company that allows you to um get your music in advertisements on mobile games. So it's like this will be a great way to make some extra money and get more people to listen to your music. Directly from epicgames.com site news Bandcamp joining Epic blah 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 blah. Links as always down below. Today we are thrilled to announce that Bandcamp will become part of Epic Games. Bandcamp is an online music store and community where fans can discover, connect with, and directly support the independent musicians they love. Fair and open platforms are critical for the future of the economy. Yeah, fair and open, I'm sure. Epic and Bandcamp shares a mission of building the most artist-friendly platform that enables creators to keep the majority of their hard-earned money. Bandcamp will play an important role in Epic's vision to build out a creator marketplace ecosystem for content, technology, games, art, and more. Check out bands, whatever. 2 quotes and then we're out. Bandcamp's mission is to keep spread healing power of. Oh wait, all right, we already read this. Okay, so I think it will be cool. On the upside, the possibility that I just came up with in my head right now that it will be easier for people to get their songs into games. Fuck yeah, yes, Epic Games, but they do own the Unreal Engine, so. Could they make something that includes radio stations and shit like that, maybe? I don't know. Speaking of radio stations, though, we have Amazon Amp. Directly from Amazon. This shit sounds really cool. I just enjoy the fact that it's from Amazon, but same like I don't really like how Epic Games bought Bandcamp, but I mean, everything is consolidating and no one's doing nothing about it. So we'll just let that keep happening. Amazon consolidating, same shit. Now they're consolidating radio. So run the airwaves with AMP, the live radio app from Amazon. Directly from Amazon, as always. Sources at the paste bin. Fuck you. I don't care. Amazon just released a limited access beta version of AMP, a new app that will give you a way to DJ your own live radio shows. Creators can use the catalog of tens of millions of licensed songs from Universal Music Group, Sony Entertainment, Warner Music Group, and a long list of independent companies such as CD Baby, Believe, PAIS, even more, Everyday, whatever. Creators can also engage with their community in real time. No subscription, additional hardware, or editing needed. Once this shit comes out of once this is in beta and it's on desktop, because I'm not downloading the app, I will definitely be trying this out because this sounds fucking cool. Yes, Amazon's the one doing it, but if Spotify ends up doing this, I'll probably end up doing it with them anyway. So we'll see how this goes. Also, no subscription, which is a nice thing. You probably still need the Amazon. You're going to need an Amazon account to log in, but whatever. Radio has always been about music and culture, says the vice president of AMP. But imagine if you were inventing the medium for the first time. Imagine if you were inventing the medium for the first time today. You'd combine what people love about radio, spontaneous talk, new music discovery, diverse personalities, and broad programming that with all that's made possible by today's technology. You'd make it so anybody on a phone, a voice, or have a love of music could make their own show. And that's exactly what we're doing. AMP makes it possible for you to grab the mic and run away with the airwaves. We are whatever. We are creating a new version of radio that will have an infinite dial of shows. Let's fucking go. Then Alexa, They heard me. AMP is building a home where anyone can create live shows alongside some of the biggest names in the industry. As part of the limited beta, AMP is announcing a slate of upcoming shows for some of the biggest names in music. The undisputed queen of hip hop, Nicki Minaj, will soon bring her highly anticipated returning radio show, Queen Radio, to AMP, in addition to upcoming shows from Pusha T, Tinashe, Travis Barker, Lil Yachty, Big Boy, a bunch of other people. This is the cool part because this is kind of what Apple Music Radio was, but I don't, I think it was like you had to be someone to make it, right? Like I'm lacking if I didn't know that, because then the show would be on there, or you're lacking if you didn't know that. Fucking, but damn, if this is actually like open to everyone, there's gonna be a lot of shit out there, but I'd be fucking hyped, because then I can pop in, have this show, I can make these episodes run kind of whenever, do like one episode, 3-4 episodes a day. That was a real step up from one. Go in, talk for like 30 minutes, do a live chat, whatever. Because I'm still going to do the live stream shit. Because I like the video live streaming stuff with Twitch and YouTube, Twitter. We'll see how long that goes till I get canceled. But we'll see. I think this will be really fucking cool. I think if you have a podcast, I don't know what the back end's going to be. Like, if you can you upload your own audio files? We don't know yet. I want to get in this beta. But to continue, by bringing these incredible personalities into the beta, creators can experience AMP in a way that drives the feedback needed to build the app together ahead of public launch later this year. AMP is completely free to use. It gives creators access to a library of tens of millions of songs they can use when creating their shows, and the ability to invite live callers to join their programs. AMP is creating built-in discovery and notifications so listeners can find and follow creators and upcoming shows. Hosts can take callers with control. Hosts can take callers with control over who speaks and when. They can pre-plan and schedule their shows and listen to songs in real time with their audiences. In the future, AMP plans to add even more, everything from Alexa integrations to social sharing to innovative new search and discovery features. Yeah, the great part where they just scan all our data and then they can figure out what they want to give us. That will connect listeners with the creators delivering the content they are looking for on the dial. When we met with ahead of official beta launch to learn more about AMP and whatever. So we have some more, I guess I'll read a couple of these Q&A questions and then we'll hop out because this article just keeps going. But there's some cool pictures too. So the way that this works, I think it's going to be really fun. I really want to do this. I don't know why. As much as I hate Jeff Bezos, this sounds like a great idea. I'll read the first one. What opportunity is AMP building for creators? With AMP, we're building a new way for you to create a live radio show. AMP infuses what listeners love about radio with what's made possible by today's technology. People are looking for an evolution in how they discover and share music. AMP is reinventing how fans can go deeper into the experiences of live audio while giving the millions of people creating and sharing playlists today a new way to turn their love of music into live shows. So now you can literally curate the playlist, turn the playlist into a radio show. I'm sure there's going to be a Rap Caviar friggin' radio show. I wouldn't see, why not? Well, not that, but something of that from Amazon. I'd say that'd be a funny idea. Just steal all the Rap Caviar. All right, I have an idea. I need to keep it. Don't use it. Whoever's listening, don't use that idea. I think you know what I was going to say. Also, Spotify, like with this, I want Spotify to do it so badly because Spotify just I'm not going to buy it, but they released like a device that's like just in your car device. It's just made for music, so we'll see what happens with that. But I don't know, whatever. Amp, highly recommend. I'll when it gets pushed to normal release, I'll talk about it so everyone can be updated. But I'm definitely going to try to get in beta on this, and I think if anyone has the ability to or wants to basically if you download the app on your iPhone or device, you can do that. I don't personally want to download the app for reasons that I could go into deep tangents about, but I'll wait till the desktop version is out. So go download it if you want to try it. I don't care. I'm not getting any kickback. I probably should. Moving on though to something that is this is kind of just wrapping up a big storyline that's been continuing throughout this show, is Google being sued by Genius over lyrics. So Google and Lyric Find beat Genius lawsuit is basically done. It's over. Finally, they have affirmed the district court decision. And I'm just going to read this Digital Music News article just to kind of give a little background to people who don't know already about what was happening, and just to give myself easier content. And then I can just hop in and be a Twitch streamer and, use content. Back in August 2020, a federal judge dismissed Lyric Database's Genius $50 million lawsuit against Google and competing lyric platform Lyric Find, which Genius alleged had lifted and misappropriated its work. Now, an appeal court has officially upheld the ruling. So, I'll talk about why this is funny, but it is important in the overall music business. The Second Circuit Court of Appeals just recently affirmed the district court decision in the much-publicized legal battle involving Brooklyn-headquartered Genius, Toronto-based Lyric Find, and Google. Worth noting that on the outset that Santa Monica's Media Lab, who also owns, I think, World Star Boxing, if I'm correct, last September bought Genius for a reported $80 million, less than the business had raised from previous investors. Genius submitted its original complaint in December 2019, after claiming that it had obtained proof that Lyric Find's alleged copywriting and misappropriation by utilizing both straight and curved apostrophes. These alternating apostrophes spelled out red-handed in Morse code and made their way onto a number of Google search results pages, and seemingly confirming that the involved text had been copied from Genius. So this was the cool shit. These people, they're like, it looks like our lyrics are being stolen. Well, let's see if we can figure that out. And basically, this is exactly what they did. What they did is they utilized both straight and curved apostrophes to spell out red-handed in Morse code. So there would be like curved ones and straight ones, and it would literally spell out red-handed. When you went on Google, you read the lyrics and you looked at the apostrophes curved straight, you would then see written in Morse code red-handed. So that's how they got them. Now, if you understand music, intellectual property, and copyright, I think you're going to start realizing the how is someone able to sue someone over lyrics they don't own. So we'll get into that, and basically why this just doesn't matter anymore, because you can't sue someone over someone else's lyrics. Genius doesn't own the lyrics. The person who made the song owned the lyrics. Genius submitted... All right, whatever, we already did that. Lyric Find subsequently acknowledged the presence of lifted lyrics and described their prevalence in the words at around 100 tracks as minuscule. So they admitted to it, and they said it was only a minuscule amount. Meanwhile, Genius said in the aforementioned lawsuit that Lyric Find had violated its terms of service, diverted web traffic, and brought a brought about a loss of licensing and advertising revenue. Lastly, regarding the years running case's background, the court dismissed Genius's breach of contract allegations relating to its terms of service, as highlighted, because the Copyright Act preempts plaintiff's breach of contract claims. The plaintiff, the presiding judge relayed, had failed to allege breach of contract claims that are qualitatively different from federal copyright claims. So basically, what in layman's terms, you can't sue someone if you don't own the lyrics. It's like you don't own the lyrics. It doesn't matter if you typed them out. You still, if you transcribe a movie, I'm pretty sure you don't now own the words to that movie. I don't think that's how that works. Like if you just type out all day just an entire movie script and then upload it, I don't think you can copyright people for copying what you just typed. Clearly, at least with music, it's not possible. So I'm happy that it happened. We're going to get off. There's going to be a little bit of music stuff after this, but if you're trying to sue someone over someone else's lyrics, it's just not possible. This show, we like to actually talk about music shit, so we're going to we're going to have one more music thing after this commercial break, but go to that now. Double Dome Municipality, back at it again with another ad. This episode's ad is brought to you by Tommy Chong CBD. The world is full of CBD brands, but only one has the name Tommy Chong CBD. They got drops, topicals, gummies, soft gels. Obviously, why wouldn't you? From 750 milligrams full spectrum gummies to 250 milligram CBD muscle freeze gel. There's definitely something on this website that will pique your interest. Drops come from 3 different formulas. Some of the drops are full spectrum, good vibes, and nice dreams. They got 300 milligram versions all the way up to 3,000 milligram versions of the drops. So no matter who you are, there's a product for you. Check them out. wickedgood.xyz advertisers tab. You go wickedgood.xyz, click on the advertisers tab. Bam, there you go. That's how the internet works. wickedgood.xyz advertisers tab. If you don't use that link, I don't make any money. Also, make sure to use Tommy20 when you check out. You get 20% off. So as long as that lasts, don't know when this episode will be coming out or airing. So there you go. Tommy20, wickedgood.xyz advertisers tab. There you go. That's the end of this ad. Back to the show. And we're back from the commercial break. Back doing more music stuff. Really just going to be one more, and then we'll get into some other stuff. But Spotify just patented its own A&R technology that predicts breaking artists. And clearly I'm talking about this because this is technology based. So I did kind of put this under the technology category, so you kind of get away with it. A new track is uploaded to Spotify nearly every second of each day, so using the service as a talent scouting tool can sometimes feel like finding a needle in a haystack. Spotify knows this, and it's working on something to remedy it. Music business worldwide has discovered that Spotify has invented technology that predicts which relatively unknown artists on its platform are likely to break in the near future. According to a new U.S. patent granted on Tuesday, March 1st, and obtained by Music Business Worldwide, Spotify has developed what it's calling a system and method for breaking artist predictions in media and content environment. Spotify's new invention works by determining one or more early adopters from its user base and then collecting the data from their listening patterns. So rather than Spotify making like an AI that can predict what song is going to be good, they're just going to use the user data that they already have from the tastemakers who they already know are tastemakers. So, I mean, I don't know but maybe me. So, people who listen to music who are not a good idea. I'm scratching my eye right now, but people who listen to music that is constantly breaking. So if you listen to an artist maybe a couple months before they blow up and you're constantly doing this, Spotify is going to tag your account and then just start watching everything your account does. And then based off basically a giant aggregate of accounts, you can kind of start telling what artist might end up popping. The system can then predict which artists are more likely to break based on the listening patterns of these early adopters. The patent explains, quote, a user who requested playback of media content from a plurality of breaking artists is determined and assigned the role of early adopter. The breaking artist prediction logic can thereafter predict future breaking artists based on further playback request from an early adopter interacting with their media device via the software application. The breaking artist prediction logic and therefore after the artist in. Yeah, so playback request is basically you want to play it again. Spotify notes that a user flagged as an early adopter need not have any knowledge that they are an early adopter, as the media server responds by streaming the requested media content as it responds to all users. So we won't know if we're getting our data sucked off, but Spotify knows. It's A&R folks. But the listeners are doing all the work. Even if they need not have any knowledge, they are doing so. Exactly. So you're just cutting the A&R out. You're just sucking up. I mean, if you're a Spotify, why not do it? Also, to point out, within the filing, originally filed in 2016. So they filed this in 2016. That means that they were already implementing the technology. You don't have to own a patent to implement the technology. So for all we know, from 2016 until now, they've been doing this and they've already been tagging people as tastemakers. So this shit's been going on. Originally filed in 2016 and which you can read full here. Spotify uses Figure 4 pictured above to illustrate the system predicting breaking artists. Spotify says the system includes a back-end media server system and that this media server can include a breaking artist prediction logic. In essence, the prediction logic watches consumers that Spotify has identified as early adopters to see which breaking artists they are playing and replaying. Spotify explains in the filing that the breaking artist prediction logic can determine artists that have increased in popularity in the past based on the historical data. If someone hacks that and gets their hands on that, I'm sure they love that logic. Spotify explains that an artist can be deemed to be breaking if the popularity of the artist exceeds a minimum playback threshold while having experienced growth in popularity that exceeds a minimum growth threshold. Spotify suggests that an arbitrary example that a minimum playback threshold could be 200,000 playback requests across the platform in 1 month. A minimum growth threshold, meanwhile, could be a 300% month-to-month increase in playback requests. So they're explaining some of the possible attributes that they use in the logic system. Spotify underscores that these metrics are merely exemplary and a minimum playback threshold may be higher or lower. In addition, according to the filing, numbers for determining whether an artist can be determined or deemed breaking or can vary between genre, formats, and audience demographics. For example, a minimum playback threshold for a breaking pop singer may be 200,000 playback requests a month, explains Spotify. Meanwhile, a minimum playback threshold for a breaking pianist that records classical pieces may be 20,000 playback requests in a month. So depending on genre, the logic changes depending on genre also. Spotify argues that its patent that if a service provider can predict that an artist will break out, then that service provider could also potentially seek to partner with the artist early for possible promotion and recording deals. This is the quote. Seek to partner with the artist, so partner as in money, or financially partnering with an artist for possible promotion, which is blasting their shit on all their playlists, and recording deals. So who even knows what that means? But this is what they want to do. This is the A&R. Spotify is just going to put to fucking rest normal A&R, and it looks like they've already been doing it. They had this patent since 2016, or they applied for this patent in 2016. So the technology had to already been in use up until then, or after 2016. So this is what they want: to seek partnership with artists for early possible promotion and recording deals. Any major record label reading, yes, that does indeed indicate that Spotify is exploring the prospect of using this tech to ink early stage recording deals with about to break talent. We expect this is all totally fine with you. Yeah, I'm sure it is. So if you don't really see an issue with, I don't really find an issue with that. We give up enough data to them, so at a certain point, like, we just gotta let them do it. We already give them the data. The data's already. This is the problem, and one of the issues that a lot of people talk about, and a cool part also is once you have the data, there are so many different things you can do with the data. So not only can you give every single person a cool thing at the end of the year with all the data, you can also use that data to help make you more money in ways like tracking who people listen to, and if they're breaking artists, then we can use that data to find those breaking artists before the people even know that they're breaking artists. Power of technology. Power of technology also is a perfect transition into our next topic, block, as Breaking Points would call it. Final ruling on the full self-driving, or basically not having to have a steering wheel or gas pedal or brake pedal, no human input for driving cars. So the NHTSA has finally overruled and gotten rid of that necessity. I'm going to read the direct article, just the summary part, because that's going to get crazy. But I wanted to bring this up because a lot of people don't realize that, like, previously you literally just weren't allowed to not have a steering wheel, and you weren't allowed to not have gas and brake pedals, but now they're allowing it. So this is the future. The steps are coming down. Breaking down walls. That's what the NHTSA does. Quote summary. This final rule amends the Occupation Protection Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards to account for future vehicles that do not have traditional manual controls associated with a human driver, because they are equipped with automated driving systems, ADS. This final rule makes clear that despite their innovative designs, vehicle with ADS technology must continue to provide the same high levels of occupant protection that current passenger vehicles provide. The occupant protection standards are currently written for traditionally designed vehicles and use terms such as driver's seat and steering wheel that are not meaningful to vehicles designs that, for example, lack a steering wheel or other driver controls. So this is how laws work. The black and white. How am I going to sue you? No more driver seats, no more steering wheels. This final rule updates the standards in a manner that classifies existing technologies while avoiding unnecessary terminology, and in doing so resolves ambiguities in applying the standards to ADS-equipped vehicles without traditional manual controls. In addition, this final rule amends the standards in a manner that maintains the existing regulatory text whenever possible to make it clear that this rule maintains the level of crash protection currently provided by occupancy in more traditional designed vehicles. The final rule is limited to crashworthiness standards to provide a unified set of regulatory text applicable to vehicles with and without ADS functionality. So, self-driving cars, you won't have to have the driver's seat, no steering wheel, no gas, no brake, and it just has to have the same amount of safety standards, which I hope that would have been a normal thing, but all right, we talked about years ago, probably 2 years ago, actually, maybe, out of context clips, as always, new clip every single day. There's one about the canoe, and it's like a bulb, it's like a bus sort of thing. No steer, all the chairs face each other, full like glass everywhere. Looks like a black I don't know, a black bus driving down the street, but electric and cooler. Didn't have a steering wheel, didn't have a driver's seat, didn't have gas or brakes. So now that car, or whatever you want to call it, is theoretically now able to be driven on the roads legally. A lot of these tests have been happening on closed track or with very limited local government oversight. So you could only do it in certain towns, and you'd have to have an agreement with that town. A lot of it was happening in Arizona and California, obviously. So I pretty sure that this also means this will allow more people and companies to expand their testing onto more open roads rather than closed course stuff. It's a cool update. Just want to bring it up because it is something that needs to be talked about, especially with the future of automated self-driving cars. This is just going to keep happening. It's not going away, and clearly that's something that is being shown here. Something else that's clearly not going away, sadly, is TikTok. They have, this is from Reuters, exclusive TikTok nears Oracle deal in a bid to ally with U.S. data concerns, sources say. This is not confirmed yet, but it's an update in Oracle and TikTok. All right, I'm sure you can already see my skepticism with all of this, but let's read on. TikTok is nearing a deal for Oracle to store its U.S. users' data information without its Chinese partner ByteDance having access to it. Yeah, quote unquote. No backdoors allowed. Definitely. Hoping to address the U.S. regulatory concerns over data integrity on the popular short video app, people familiar with the matter said. Thanks for that quote. What source is that? Oh, people familiar with the matter. Thank you very much. The agreement would come a year and a half after U.S. National Security Plan ordered ByteDance to divest from TikTok over fears the U.S. user data could be passed on to Chinese government. Didn't see that coming. Clearly, I talked about this enough. The order was not enforced after Joe Biden succeeded Donald Trump as U.S. president last year. The panel, however, known as Committee on Foreign Investment in United States, has continued to harbor concerns over data security at TikTok that ByteDance is now hoping to address, sources say. And it is not clear whether we'll find that TikTok's partnership with Oracle will resolve the national security issues it has identified, the sources said. A spokesman for the U.S. Department of Treasury, which chairs the CFIUS, did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Oracle had discussed acquiring a majority in stake in TikTok in 2020. Then, when ByteDance was under U.S. pressure to sell the app, the cloud computing giant will store all of the TikTok's user U.S. data on Oracle data servers under the new proposed partnership, the sources said. Some of TikTok's data is currently stored on Alphabet's Google Cloud. So hopefully some more moves in that. I mean, clearly China's going to make some sort of backdoor. The U.S. obviously has backdoors into all of our own social media companies, so I'm not trying to make this like they're bad, we're good. We're all doing the same shit. My main issue is if the data is not stored in the the U.S. doesn't have that good of a backdoor to it. Also, like Mark Zuckerberg said, he said it a couple of years ago when they had the big conference with Dorsey, him, and the Google guy. I always forget his name. But, like he said, most of the social media and top websites nowadays are being ran by, or they're slowly higher getting ran by Chinese companies rather than US-based companies, so you have less access to them. I don't know. I don't use the app. I refuse to install it. I will never install it. I'm good. I already just enjoy the apps that I use right now for social media, so I don't want to add anything more to them. If I start posting TikToks, it ain't for my fucking app. I'm paying someone to do it, to have their data stolen, and my face to be uploaded to the Chinese servers. Should we do another ad break? Then we'll do a couple more, and then just want to go over this real quick. Oh, wait, did I not add the? All right, well, I'm gonna talk about a 50-year-old piece of moon sample being cracked open finally for testing in regards to the upcoming Artemis program. God, I can't see anything. I need to zoom in. Here we go. Where are we? Oh no. All right, whatever. Here we go. 50 years later, they unveil one of the last sealed Apollo samples. Like a time capsule that was sealed for posterity, one of the last unopened Apollo-era samples collected during Apollo 17 has been opened under the careful direction of lunar sample processors and curators in Astronomical's Research and Exploration Science Division at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston. This precious and well-preserved sample will serve as a narrow window into the permanent geological record of Earth's closest celestial neighbor, the moon. Before NASA goes back for more samples, this time the moon's south pole during the agency's upcoming Artemis missions, the Apollo Next Generation Sample Analyst Program is studying some of the last few lunar samples that NASA has kept unopened, in pristine condition, awaiting the day when scientists' equipment with improved scientific and technological methods could examine them. This is sick. There's a good video on YouTube. I want to say it's Veritasium. He went to one of the sample processing places, and it's maybe a 45-minute video of them going through how they do it, getting suited up, and basically how they cut open lunar samples. So I'd highly recommend watching that. I should have had that in the links ready, but whatever. More reading and quotations. Quote, "We have had an opportunity to open up this incredible, precious sample that's been saved for 50 years under vacuum. And we finally get to see what treasures are held within. The day finally came for sample 73001, which was first vacuum sealed on the moon and then stored in a second protective outer vacuum tube inside the nitrogen purge processing cabinets in Johnson's Lunar Laboratory. Back in December 1972, astronauts Eugene and Harrison collected the lunar regolith by hammering thin cylindrical sample collection devices and drive tubes into a landslide deposit in the moon's something valley, capturing layers of ancient history for science to pore over. The sample 73001 is the lower half of a double drive tube. The upper drive tube, sample 73002, was returned from the moon in a normal unsealed container, which was opened in 2019. The ANGSA science team has been studying its layers of small rocks and soil and is eager to see what the lower half holds. So they only open the top half, so even the deeper stuff is what they're about to uncover. Before the ARES team extrudes the drive tube of 73001, extensive scans were taken at the University of Texas at Austin Jackson School of Geosciences using X-ray CT technology to capture high-resolution 3D images of samples makeup inside the tube. This will be the permanent record of what the material inside the core looks like before it got pushed out and divided into half-centimeter increments. The drive tube was very full, which is one of the things we learned with the CT scans, and it caused a slight complication to how we were initially planning to extrude it. But we have been able to adapt using these scans. Last month, the team first worked to capture any gas presence within the outer of the project tube. So they're opening up one of the last lunar samples from 50 years ago and preparing for the Artemis program. Another quick thing regarding Artemis program, the rocket for the first Artemis 1 launch has finally rolled out after 20 years of delays. So I'm going to shit on this. I have shit on this a lot. Obviously, I'm very happy the U.S. government is finally going back to the moon, but each rocket costs like $2 billion, and the entire program so far has cost like $21 billion, and they're not using the money correctly. It's also 18 years late. So I'm happy they're finally doing it. This is basically the largest lost cause fallacy ever. And yeah, if you just look at it, it looks like a big mishmash of everything the U.S. has ever created before into one rocket, which also cost more than any of the other ones. Cape Canaveral, Florida, NASA's new mega rocket for its Artemis 1 moon mission is on the launch pad for the first time. On Thursday, March 17th, the largest doors in the world open at the Vehicle Assembly Building, VAB, at NASA's Kennedy Space Center here in Florida's Space Coast. The rocket that will launch the next astronauts to the moon began rolling out to the launch pad. It reached its destination more than 11 hours later, settling atop its pad as dawn approached. The rocket, SLS, the most powerful rocket ever built, technically, so this is the largest rocket ever built. Rolled towards KSC pad 39B, Orion spacecraft on top, both riding the agency's massive crawler. The hauler vehicle, officially called the Crawler Transporter 2, CT2, carried the 5.5 million pound, 2.5 million kilogram SLS and 50,000 pound Orion capsule at about 0.8 miles per hour towards the pad. It moves very slow, but it has these things that are like constantly keeping it level. So if you haven't looked at the video, I'll try to describe it right now. It's this crawler goes underneath the launch pad, raises up, and then lifts the entire launch pad, the tower, and the rocket all at the same time. And then on two giant tracks, it rolls the entire thing into the tallest and largest open air building in the world, the VAB, which was built for the Apollo missions. Obviously now still going to the moon with it. So this thing's fucking massive and it can pick up a lot of shit. So finally, it's moved out to the pad. They're doing a wet dress rehearsal very soon. As of recording this, it's probably happening. Wet dress rehearsal. Wet dress rehearsal is set to occur in a few weeks, early April, which is right now. The trial will be followed by 8 to 9 days of additional testing at the pad before SLS and Orion are slowly rolled back to the VAB on the crawler. Their mission team members will assess how it goes, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. What we'll see in the mission, okay, so biggest next step, which is happening probably as of recording this right now, after the rollout is wet dress rehearsal, which will see the mission team fuel up SLS on the launch pad, conduct a practice countdown, and essentially run the entire process of fueling everything except minus the ignition. So that's happening right now. That's really going to be stress testing it. They've already ran the entire core for, 4 minutes? I talked about it before in another episode, always calling back to the old episodes, but it's going to be the largest rocket launched in a very long time, and that shit's going to be loud as fuck. It's also going to be kind of cool because, like, I'd like to go to it, but who knows when it's actually going to launch because it's taken 18 years for it to even get to this point anyway, so. Speaking of something that's taken a while, Snoop Dogg investing in Faze Clan. I would have presumed he already had some sort of investment in Faze Clan, but apparently not until now. We have the official tweet. We have Snoop Dogg joining Faze Clan. We have Faze Snoop now. Now I presume it's probably just investment right now. They did make a official, what do you want to call it? An official post, but I'm just going to read Digital Music News because they usually do pretty good, depending on who's writing the article, but we'll see how this goes. Oh, Ashley, great. She likes to talk about Joe Rogan too much. Apparently Joe Rogan is a music artist. Rapper Death Row Records owner Snoop Dogg is joining the gaming collective Faze Clan. Faze Clan is set to go public later this year, and Snoop Dogg is joining the organization's board of directors. Well, that's actually fucking sick, because that shit's about to go public, and you get to buy in on the beginning of it. Well, that's what a real investor wants to do. The organic relationship between Faze and Snoop has been building for years now. Obviously, that's kind of why I thought he was already a part of it or invested a little. So we were thrilled to officially welcome Faze Snoop to the family. Chief Strategy Officer of Faze Clan said that. Quote, as the original internet kid and first-generation gamer, Snoop has always understood the cultural connection between music, lifestyle, and gaming. Snoop made an announcement early this morning via Twitter. Alongside his position on the board of directors, Snoop Dogg says he will co-create content, participate in key business initiatives, and launch merchandise with the brand. It only makes sense to partner with Faze Clan as both a team member and on the board of directors. So he's on the board of directors. Let's go. Snoop Dogg recently closed a deal with Death Row Records, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we're going to do that. So Faze Snoop has joined the Faze Clan. Let's go. What does he say in the official tweet? I will read it. It does not say. So, whatever. He's on the official Faze Clan board of directors. We will do the YouTube. We'll do the YouTube channel of the week. Wicked Good YouTube channel of the week. This week it's Real Engineering. I've been watching his videos for I don't know how like years now at this point. He always makes really good videos. You can always tell it's his stuff. He's good with the thumbnails. You can usually tell when it's his stuff. I couldn't I'm just scrolling down the channel right now to see which one I think is probably the best one. Burj Khalifa, how to build higher. That was a really good one. I love the SR71 video also. I'd highly recommend checking it out. He does a lot of like engineering, getting into the like logistics and hard engineering details of a lot of things that we see in our normal lives or have heard about. So I'd highly recommend it. Shout out Real Engineering. I've spent many of hours watching your videos, and I would highly recommend watching it if you think it's cool. I'm going to flip it to an ad break now, and after that we'll do basically a frog was able to be unfertilized and have a child. So we'll get to that after this. A frog virgin birth after this ad. Double Dome Municipality, back at it again with an ad. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Say it with me, Blue Chew. Blue Chew will bring more confidence to you in the bedroom by offering chewable tablets that can help men get stronger, longer-lasting erections. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but it's chewable and it's a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's tablets help men achieve harder, longer-lasting erections to combat all forms of erectile dysfunction. Blue Chew is an online prescription service with no visits to the doctor, no awkward conversations, and no waiting lines at the pharmacy. Also, on top of all of that wonderfulness, it ships right to your door in a discreet package. The process is simple. Sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part, it's all done online. Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredients and strength for you. Don't like swallowing pills? Same here. Had to deal with it before. No problems with this product. Blue Chew's sildenafil and tadalafil tablets are chewable. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the US of A, and they're prepared and shipped directly to you, so it's cheaper than the pharmacy. If you could benefit from some extra confidence when comes time to perform, visit bluechew.com for more details, and obviously important safety information is there, because obviously there's important safety information in regards to getting your dick hard. But I've got a special deal for you right now. Try Blue Chew for free when you use promo code WickedGood at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code WickedGood to receive your first month for free. Obviously, thank you, Blue Chew, for sponsoring this podcast. Highly recommend. Obviously, you don't need it all the time, but those times where, you need the extraness, obviously, there you go. Back to the episode. Your man is gone. And we're back. Did some jumping jacks to keep myself going because I'm going to have to read a shitload in a little bit. But to stay on topic, we have viable offspring derived from single unfertilized mammalian oocytes. Whatever that means. Basically, a frog had a virgin birth. What I'm going to be reading, oh god, fuck. SpongeGar. Yeah, my breath is a little fucked up right now, but I feel good. I didn't do jumping jacks. I did whatever the jump thing, and then you do the fucking push-up. So if jumping jacks got me to this would be a bad thing. What I'll be reading is just I'm not reading the actual scientific paper. I'm reading the significance and the abstract. It's still going to have a lot of smart words in it that I don't really know completely, but that's the whole point of Morty's Mind Blowers. It's to blow our mind. So here's the significance section. This is directly from the literal scientific work. So if you want to read the full thing, there will be a paste bin somewhere. In mammals, parthenogenesis is limited because of problems arising from genomic imprinting. Here we report a live mammalian offspring derived from single unfertilized eggs. This was achieved by targeting DNA methylation rewriting of 7 imprinting control regions. I already told you this is some shit that I don't know, but here we go. Continuing. By designing guide RNAs with protospacer adjacent motif PAM sequences matching one allele but not the other. Alright, a bunch of shit. Enables targeted DNA methylation editing in an allele-specific manner. The success of parthenogenesis in mammals opens more opportunities to agricultural research and medicine. Yeah, clearly, if you can have virgin births, clearly that's going to be great for agriculture. It might also start some crazy shit, but you gotta try, right? You gotta try. Why not, right? Abstract. In mammals, the new life starts with the fusion of an oocyte and oocyte, whatever, egg and a sperm cell. A way of generating offspring solely from female gametes is limited because of the problems arising from genomic imprinting. Here we report live mammalian offspring derived from single fertilized eggs, which was achieved by targeted DNA methylation rewriting of 7 imprinting control regions, blah, 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 blah. Following activation, these edited regions showed maintenance of methylation as natural established regions during early pre-implantation development. The transfer of modified parthenogenic embryos into foster mothers, resulting in significantly exceeded development, and finally a generation of viable full-term offspring. This data demonstrates that parthenogenesis, I probably had it earlier, can be achieved by targeted epigenetic rewriting of multiple critical imprinting control regions. Clearly, I didn't know the fuck I was just talking about, but this is big. A frog gave birth to another frog by an unfertilized egg. So, if you can't see where the possibilities of that are going, then I don't know what's wrong with you. But moving on to some stuff that if you're into crypto, you probably care a lot about, or you probably should, seeing as the NFT craze has gotten so crazy over the last year or so. Probably exactly. A little bit longer than that, but clearly with this, but we have the news that Yuga Labs acquires CryptoPunks and Meebits, giving commercial rights to the community. So CryptoPunks and Meebits are now owned by the people who own and created Bored Ape Yacht Club. Originally, I thought this was going to be a bad thing, but we'll see. Today, we're excited to announce that Yoga has acquired the IP of CryptoPunks and Meebits NFT collection from Larva Labs. This means that we now own the brands, copyright in the art, and other IP rights for both collections, along with 423 CryptoPunks. So this is where the money comes in. I couldn't figure out exactly what CryptoPunks they had, but you could do some quick math. You could do some quick math at a floor CryptoPunk, and then just multiply that by 423, and you can start seeing how much money this deal ended up being, because they now own 423 CryptoPunks and 1,711 Meebits. And Meebits are doing pretty good too right now. So they got a fuckload of shit out of this. Fuck the IP. They got a shitload of CryptoPunks. Now the company has like 500 CryptoPunks probably. God damn. When this shit goes down, I can't wait to buy. When we set out to create within the NFT space, we did so with a deep admiration for CryptoPunks and the visionary work of the project's founders, Matt and John. Their work moved NFTs and Ethereum blockchain to the entire crypto space forward and influenced how we built Bin Ape Yacht Club, BAYC. We're honored to shepherd the CryptoPunks and Meebits brand into the future as part of the broader ecosystem we're building. They haven't done, I mean, what they do with the apes is pretty cool. So they say in here they're going to leave it and they're not going to do too much with them. So as long as they leave them and don't do too much to the actual shit, I'm fine with it. But if you really want to learn about Matt and John, the people who actually created CryptoPunks, I think it must be the last interview they've ever done before they exploded, was Non-Fun Gerbils. Non-Fun Gerbils on Spotify. They have an interview with one or both of them, and it's like the last time they have ever been like spoken in public, because the amount of fucking money these guys probably have is ridiculous. If they still had 423, and they probably had more than that to keep for themselves, shoo-wee, that shit's crazy. All right, quote from Yoga Labs, our innovators. These are from the co-founders of CryptoPunks and Meebits. This is directly from them. Quote, Yoga Labs are the innovators of the modern profile picture project and the best in the world at operating these projects. They are the ideal stewards for CryptoPunks and Meebits. In their hands, we are confident that they will continue to be vital, thriving projects in the emerging decentralized web. This deal came about in a very organic way from conversations between our partner Guy Olister and the Lava Lab founders. One call led to another, and here we are at this historic moment. This acquisition does not mean that Matt and John are joining Yoga. They're going to continue to run Lava Labs and keep doing what they do best, creating awesome projects that help shape the future of Web3. So hopefully they're going to have a lot more mental space and ability to create some more stuff now that they don't have to deal with any of the CryptoPunks and Meebit stuff anymore. What comes next? This is the important. Now that we own the IP for CryptoPunks and Meebits, here's what we're planning to do. As a first step, we will soon be granting CryptoPunks and Meebits holders the same commercial rights that BAYC and MAYC owners enjoy. We're working with our legal teams to draft the new terms and conditions for both collections and expect to share these with the community very soon. By handing over these rights, we're further aligning CryptoPunks and Meebits with the Web3 ethos, and we expect a wide range of third-party developers and community creators to incorporate CryptoPunks and Meebits into their Web3 projects. We'll be building the overall brand right alongside them. Meaning, I'm sure the CryptoPunks and the Meebits thing is more of how to implement those things into other chains and projects. So, like, you can put your CryptoPunk on the wall in Decentraland, or like you can use your Meebit in Sandbox and shit like that. That's what I presume they're talking about. Don't actually know if that's what they're talking about. Also, the commercial rights. I'm pretty sure you own the rights to the image. Should double check that, but they own it now, so it's not like you can do much about it. What we don't plan to do is to shoehorn these NFT collections into the club model we've developed with Bathing Ape Yacht Club. We view BAYC as the center of the universe we are building at Yoga and CryptoPunks as a historical collection. We will work to bring additional utility to both CryptoPunks and Meebits collection. We intend to do so as thoughtful stewards. We are not in a rush here. We will be listening to the community before we decide what comes next. For us, NFTs have always been about culture. We're deeply engaged with the community that's formed around BAYC, and it's inspiring to watch them build, collaborate, and continuously up the ante. CryptoPunks and Meebits have their own unique communities, and we're excited to see what they do with their IP rights. Our vision has been to build a community-owned brand that extends far beyond NFTs, and we are now going to bring CryptoPunks and Meebits alongside for the ride. I got no problem with it. Obviously, I don't know why I just said that. I have a slight problem with it. I don't like the consolidation. What are we doing? But they have so much goddamn money to throw around. I don't know, they could fucking buy so much shit. If they're gonna buy one NFT project, might as well buy the fucking top one. It's so crazy how much money is involved in this shit. It's kind of why I love it. That's also why Mr. Joe Byron, Let's Go Brandon, put out an executive order to ensure responsible development of digital assets. Now, I'm going to try to read as much of this as I can bear to read, which is way too much, but I'm probably just going to read the first couple bit. I will have the entire thing for you to read. I have read the entire thing. I didn't have it highlighted, so I'm not going to deal with it, but I'm going to read the beginning parts of it because this is very important. So I lied. I'm not reading the entire thing, but that's how you hook someone to watch the whole thing. Here we go. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered as follows. Section 1. Policy. Advances in digital and distributed ledgers technology for financial services have led to a dramatic growth in markets for digital assets, with profound implications for the protection of consumers, investors, and businesses, including data privacy and security, financial stability and systematic risk, crime and national security. This is what they really care about. And the human rights, financial inclusion and equality, and energy demand and climate change. In November 2021, no non-state issued digital assets reached a combined market capitalization of $3 trillion, up from approximately $14 billion in early November 2016. Monetary authorities globally are also exploring and, in some cases, introducing central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. While many activities involving digital assets are within the scope of existing domestic laws and regulations, an area where the United States has been a global leader, growing development and adoption of digital assets and related innovations, as well as inconsistent controls to defend against certain key risks, necessitate an evolution and alignment of the United States government approach to digital assets. The United States has an interest in responsible financial innovation, expanding access to safe and affordable financial services, and reducing the cost of domestic and cross-border funds transfers and payments, including through the continued modernization of public payment systems. Public payment systems means MasterCard, Visa, not really public because they can literally shut off anyone, including Russia and the hub and any OnlyFans, the people who pressure the people to do these things. So I'm just going to keep reading and stop interjecting. We must take strong steps to reduce the risk that digital assets could pose to consumers, investors, and business protections, financial stability, and financial integrity, combating and prevent. If you're ever trying to make someone remember and have a paragraph stick in your head, always put what you want at the end of the paragraph. And here we go. combating and preventing crime and illicit financial, finance, national security, and the ability to exercise human rights, financial inclusion, equity, climate change, and pollution. That's what they really care about. Section 2, Objectives. The principal policy objectives of the United States with respect to digital assets are as followed. I can imagine Joe Byron typing all this out. We must protect consumers, investors, and businesses in the United States. The unique and varied features of digital assets can pose significant financial risks to consumers, investors, and businesses if appropriate protections are not in place. In the absence of sufficient oversight and standards, firms providing digital asset services may provide inadequate protections for sensitive financial data, agree, custodial and other arguments related to customer assets and funds, or disclosures of risks associated with investments. Cybersecurity and market failures at major digital asset exchanges and trading platforms have resulted in billions of dollars in losses, and I'll be talking about it. Axios, the game, I'll be talking about that hack, $600 million that just happened, resulted in billions of dollars in losses. The United States should ensure that safeguards are in place and promote the responsible development of digital assets to protect consumers, investors, and businesses, maintain privacy, definitely, real privacy, shield against arbitrary and unlawful surveillance, by you, which can contribute to human rights abuses. We must protect the United States and global financial stability and mitigate system risk. Fuck you. I still want that shit to go up 800%. Say some digital asset trading platforms and services have grown rapidly in size and complexity and may not be subject to or in compliance with appropriate regulations or supervision. Digital assets and digital asset insurers, exchanges, and trading platforms and intermediaries whose activities may increase risks to financial stability should, as appropriate, be subject to and in compliance with regulatory and supervisionary standards that govern traditional market infrastructures and financial firms, in line with general practices of same business, same risks, same rules. The new and unique uses of functions that digital assets can facilitate may create additional economic and financial risks, requiring an evolution to the regulatory approach to adequately address those risks. They want to turn it into the normal banking system with when you join the exchange, you got to fucking fist them. You got to get fist up the ass for your privacy. Can't buy no Monero, can't buy no nothing without giving them your ID. We must mitigate the illicit financial and national security risks posed by misuse of digital assets. Digital assets may pose significant illicit financial risks, including money laundering, cybercrime, and ransomware, even though the US dollar is used for all of that right now as we speak. It's the number one used currency for money laundering. USD. Cash, baby. Cybercrime and ransomware, narcotics and human trafficking, and terrorism and proliferating financial. All right. Digital assets may also be used as a tool to circumvent United States and foreign financial sanctions, regimes, and other tools and authorities. Further, while the United States has been a leader in setting international standards for the regulation and supervision of digital assets for anti-money laundering and countering the financing of the T-word, poor or non-existent implementation of those standards in some jurisdictions abroad can present significant illicit financing risks for the United States because we don't want them. We want everyone to use USD, otherwise our financial system will crash. Global financial systems. Ransomware. Illicit actors, including the perpetrators of ransomware indicates and other incidents and other cybercrime often launder and cash out their illicit proceeds using digital asset service providers in jurisdictions that have not yet efficiently implemented the international standards set by the Intergovernmental Financial Action Task Force. Basically, They signed up on an exchange where they didn't need your ID and they didn't need to know all of your banking information and who you are. The continued ability for service providers in jurisdictions where international standards are not effectively implemented enables financial activities without illicit finance controls. Growth in decentralized financial ecosystems, peer-to-peer payment activity, and obscured blockchain ledgers without controls to mitigate illicit finance could also present additional market and national security risks in the future. The United States must ensure appropriate controls and accountability for current and future digital asset systems to promote high standards for transparency, privacy, and security, including through regulatory, governance, and technological measures that counter illicit activities and preserve or enhance the efficiency of our national security tools. When digital assets are abused or used in illicit ways or undermine national security, it is in the national interest to take actions and mitigate these illicit financial and national security risks through regulation, oversight, law enforcement action, or the use of United States government authorities. We must reinforce the United States leadership in the global financial system, in technological, economic, including through the responsible development of a payment initiative and digital assets. The United States has an interest in assuring that it remains at the forefront of responsible development and design of digital assets and the technology that underpins new forms of payments and capital flows in the international financial system, particularly in settings standard to promote democratic values, the rule of law, real privacy also, and protection of investors and businesses. Thank you very much. With digital platforms, legacy architecture, and international payment systems, the United States derives significant economic and national security benefits from the central role the United States dollar and United States financial institutions and markets play in the global financial system. Continued United States leadership in the global financial system will sustain United States financial power and promote United States economic interests. All right. 2 more of these paragraphs and we'll be good. We must promote access and safe, affordable financial services. Many Americans are unbanked. Unbanked. That's because they don't want to have a fucking bank account. And the cost of cross-border money transfers and payments are high. That's just the cool part. The United States has a strong interest in promoting responsible innovation that expands equality access to equitable access to financial services, as long as we get all of your personal information and your tax ID, particularly those Americans underserved by traditional banking system, including by making investments and domestic and cross-border fund transfers and payments cheaper, faster, and safer, and by promoting greater and more cost-effective access to financial products and services. The United States also has an interest in assuring that the benefits of financial innovation are enjoyed equitably and by all Americans, and that any disparate impacts of financial innovation are mitigated. All right, whatever. Last one. We must support technological advances that promote responsible development and use of digital assets. The technology architecture of different digital assets has substantial implications for privacy, national security, and operational security and resilience of our financial system, climate change, and ability to exercise human rights and other national goals. The United States has an interest in assuring that digital asset technologies and digital payment ecosystems are developed, designed, and implemented in a responsible manner that includes privacy and security. We just want the back door. In their architecture, integrates features and controls that defend against illicit exploitation rug pulls and reduces negative climate impacts and environmental pollution as may result from cryptocurrency mining. So that's the first 2 sections, section A and B. I'm not going to read any more because time on this episode is already going up. I'm sure I'm getting close on time. So I'd check it out. Read it if you really want. This is basically the kick in the ass that the White House wants to get something passed in the next couple of years in regards to the digital asset stuff. Who knows when it's going to be coming, but I guess we'll find out soon. Something that is coming pretty soon, we think, is been looking a lot at Block, wallet.build. Well, Block, which is Square's now called Block, and Block is the ran by Jack Dorsey, ex-CEO of Twitter, still kind of runs it, but his blockchain company called Block is going to release hardware wallets with fingerprint scanners to unlock them. Obviously, it's probably a lot more secure than any of the other ones out there with the passcodes and shit, but still slightly scared that they're just going to be uploading that back to the server whenever they want. But here we go, directly from wallet.build March update, March 11, 2022. Fingerprints, batteries, and people. We're building a wallet that will be easy to use for everyone. We covered how, in our first post, we covered how we're accomplishing this. We're building a combination of hardware and mobile application that will let you choose how you want to balance the convenience of using the app for transfers and security of requiring the hardware of authorizing high-stakes money movement. This means that the hardware is only one part of the experience. In fact, only a small part. Customers will primarily manage their money by interacting with the mobile application we're building and will only need to interact with the hardware wallet in combination with the mobile app to authorize larger, less frequent transactions above an amount of their choosing. So it's not really even a hardware wallet. It's not even on its own. It's all going to be app-based, so you have to download the wallet app on your phone so it can suck more data from you while it holds all of your crypto. Ooh-wee, it's not a hardware wallet. Then you just use the fingerprint scanner as like a backup, basically, if you're going to transfer a shitload of stuff. For transactions that require using the wallet hardware, we want our consumers to be able to unlock their wallet securely, but with ease. An unlikely combination that historically has not existed in the market. We believe pins, passwords, and seed phrases are confusing and often not secure given the workarounds normal people have to create given all of that friction. This compounds when the need for those passwords are more rare. Instead, to achieve seamless authentication in practice, we plan to incorporate a fingerprint sensor into the wallet hardware. Every authentication technology comes with trade-offs. We are excited about the security against theft and misuse that this will provide, the peace of mind that will come from not needing to remember another PIN, and the ease of placing a finger on the sensor rather than manipulating tiny, failure-prone buttons on a device difficult to read screen. Yeah, but then just suck my fingerprint in, the thing that genetically identifies me from anyone else. We're aware of limitations we need around design. For example, some customers will want to share access to their money without relying on their fingerprint. As we build the product, we'll evaluate additional access methods that consumers can opt into. And of course, fingerprint sensor data will never leave the hardware device. But don't take our word for it. Listen to the independent community that will be able to inspect, verify our source code. Hopefully they're really independent. Well, this is a good thing about Block is a lot of the stuff they are putting out open source, so you can read all of it. There are other limitations we should be designing. Additionally, we've continued to design the hardware component of the wallet. We recently chose to use a rechargeable lithium battery with a USB-C port to power to the device. We believe this is the best choice for the product as it optimizes for the best consumer experience and design. whatever that means. Thanks for the buzzwords. We shared our feedback in a spade and document our. We've continued to build our team across multiple things. Basically, focus on mobile application as the primary interface will provide a more accessible, safer, and less expensive wallet because it's free and sucks your data. We don't want to force new behaviors on consumers with a novel interface on the hardware wallet component of the wallet we're building. Instead, making the mobile application the center of the experience will lead to familiar, intuitive interactions. I agree. As part of this approach, we plan to build the hardware without a display. We'll get into more in depth in the future posts, including how we're thinking of the security considerations. For now, we'd like to hear from you. All right, what's your compromise, all that stuff. So Block is going to be making hardware wallet. Well, it's not a hardware wallet. It's a piece of hardware that can go along with your mobile wallet. So just some more updates on that on Block. I'm going to keep doing Block stuff because it's Jack Dorsey. It's Square. Square runs a shitload of the payment processing around us. So got to stay up to date with them. And final thing, just quick America, fuck yeah. BTS had their first show in Korea since COVID, and they weren't allowed to scream and shout. This is from TMZ. There was a lot of other stuff, but TMZ just had the best written up article, which good enough. But BTS fans had to get innovative in how they celebrate their favorite band, with standing, singing, and shouting prohibited from the recent concert in Korea. So thank you, America, for allowing us to scream, shout, and stand up at concerts. Our COVID protocols are not as strict as them. So shout out them. Wickedgood.xyz, everything. Wickedgood.xyz has everything. There's new clips every single day. We have a new clip every day at 12 p.m. That time might be moving around slightly, but new clip every day. Basically at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitch stream all the time, YouTube stream Monday, Friday, 120 hours. I'll be doing City Skylines. We're going to be doing grilling streams in the future. So that's it. End of the show. Be back next week. Definitely next week. I'm going to back on schedule because of the whole Vegas shit that shout out the NFT. Shout out some hoodlums. Shout out the end. But that's it. Have a good week.